I recorded Hey Mary in Nashville.
I know. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Paula's Soapbox Live. My guest today is an up-and-coming singer-songwriter. His latest album is called Piece of Me. Hello, please welcome to the show, Paula's Soapbox David Martinez, and I'm getting an echo. I don't know what's going on. Okay, turn your volume down just a little bit.
You know what I think? You know what I think? I wonder if I have you on YouTube.
You may. Let me close up some of my windows. In case you haven't noticed yet, we have some technical issues going on, so just give us a moment to...
Yeah, I can turn my volume down.
Okay, let's try that and see if that works.
Okay.
Better? Yeah, okay, good. I'm not hearing echo anymore. Okay. Yes, David Martinez, welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sorry for all the hiccups and the late start.
Oh, it's all right.
Yeah,
it's all right.
YouTube technology issues. So
it happens like that. It happens.
Yeah, it happens a lot to me, it seems. I always have bad luck with that. I don't know why. But okay, so anyway, you formed a band, the David Martinez Band, in 2008. But are you a solo artist now, or?
I've always been a solo artist. I have a drummer who's been with me. He's pretty much been a mainstay since I started the band. But I do it all. I do solo acoustic and I do band shows with my. I just had a band show over the weekend with my band. I got a new bass player, so we're having a lot of fun playing together.
Yeah. Okay. So you're just kind of Okay, I get you.
Yeah, I can do them both.
Okay. Well, I know that your dad introduced you to music, and you wrote your first song at age 15. So, do you remember the song that you wrote at 15? This album is called Piece of Me. Hello, please welcome to the show. Let's Soapbox. I'm hearing myself again. I don't know what's going on. Okay, turn your volume down just a little bit.
You know what I think?
Can you hear that?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me. I'm sorry, everyone. Let me try something else. YouTube is in the process of switching from Google Hangouts, so we're having some issues there. Okay, let's try that. Okay. I definitely don't want to hear myself the whole interview. Yes, David Martinez, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
That is weird. Okay.
Is it gone now?
I think so.
Okay, I closed every window I had, but I think we're good now.
Okay, good. Yeah, I think I've closed all of mine, so hopefully I won't be hearing myself repeat things the whole time. That would be kind of distracting to everyone. So, okay, yeah, my question was, do you still remember the song that you wrote at 15?
Yeah, you know, as a matter of fact, it was a first song I ever wrote. It was a song called You. And I had a buddy named James Spencer. I just reconnected with him after like 20 years. I hadn't seen him, but he used to give me these lyrics and I would just take these chords and just write songs. So we wrote about 10, 15 songs together as youngsters. But that song in particular was another song called Memories of You that he wrote that when he lived in Australia. So we would just put his lyrics to music. We would fix them along the way too, you know, and so yeah, he's a great writer. We might do some writing here in the future. So,
oh, that would be
neat. He lives up in Arkansas now, so you know.
Yeah.
So
well, go ahead.
That was the first experience that I had. I just said I want to write my own music, and
yeah. Well, you know, even though he lives in Arkansas, with the way that, you know, when you can get technology to actually work, you don't really have to be in the same place to collaborate.
Absolutely.
So.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so I mean, I've written songs. I've been writing, you know, and I do like playing covers too. I just love playing music. It doesn't really matter to me, but
yeah,
being an artist too, that's my main thing. I do put that out there, but you know, I do a little of everything too when I play live shows. You know, like tonight I have a private party, so I don't know what they're gonna ask for, but you know.
You're
But
right.
Here's one compliment I do usually get. They generally think my originals are covers.
Well, that's pretty cool. Doesn't get much better than that.
Well, because you know they were well put together. They were well produced by a good producer.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's that's what I always look for. I always look for people that are going to push me to strive and, you know, make the song better. So yeah, I mean, that's part of it right there. So
yeah, and I know that you really like to study music and study different varieties of music. You're not just like one genre. You like to, you know, study it. And so is that something that love and appreciation for music, is that something that you got from your dad?
yeah. I mean, music was everywhere in my house. I mean, I used to sit in my grandma's lap and listen to Elvis Presley with her, and then of course my mom, she bought me a 45 of Band on the Run when I was a kid,
Mm-hmm.
from Paul McCartney and Wings, and my dad just listened to everything. He listened to Aerosmith, Ted Nugent, Doobie Brothers, Grand Funk Railroad. He just um, Chicago. We just recently went to go see Chicago, so
Oh,
I
cool.
I study. You know, the thing that, you know, you get a lot of younger musicians who, I mean, I'm working with a couple who are phenomenal, and they have just started studying, you know, different genres from different eras, and because it kind of gives you ideas on what you can write, you know.
Right.
And
Yeah,
then,
you pull from different genres.
like I got a good friend named Matt Hole. He has a band called Matt Hole and the Hot Rod Gang, and we just inducted him in Corpus Christi Songwriters Hall of Fame. And he's he was one back in the day when he did rockabilly. He does rockabilly, and but he got me into listening to stuff like Hank Williams and um, what's that guy's name? Of course, Johnny Cash,
Right.
Chuck Berry, all that stuff. It was like Waylon Jennings. That's one of his.
Yeah.
So I would listen to all that stuff, and it would kind of give me kind of different ideas as well. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of people involved. I got a lot of friends in the local scene who've
Mhm.
actually inspired me to write music. You know, like
Yeah.
I got my buddy Sonny Salinas. There's three people that inspired me to write this song. I go, Mick Jagger, Peter Tosh, and you. And he's all, oh man. So yeah.
Well, it's good that you know, pull from different genres like that, because I think that that's what makes for a unique artist, because they can find their own sound that way,
Mhm.
as opposed
Yeah,
to like sounding like an imitation.
yeah, and there's no, I mean, you got to make things as original as you can because there's so much stuff out there that's been
Yeah.
done, you know, and it's
Yeah.
like you just got to take it and make it your own.
Right. So, is it true that you learned part of how to play music from watching the movie La Bamba growing up?
Yeah. That was so funny because that movie came out, I guess, in '87. I hadn't started playing guitar yet, and I would sit around. I remember I finally learned about 15 or 16. I was probably 16, where I would sit around and watch the movie, and I would just trade licks with them, and I've done that for years. And then sometimes at shows, I'll say we'll have a La Bamba moment, and we'll play some stuff, some songs from like we'll do some Buddy Holly and some, you know, some we'll do La Bamba. And one of the crazy things I remember, I was doing a show in I think it was Portsbury Mouth, Massachusetts, and there were like all these kids out there just having a good time. And so I played La Bamba, and every kid went crazy. I wish I would have had video. There were like 30, 40 kids dancing. I called Cindy. I said, I couldn't believe this.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's, you know, that's a timeless song, so of course everyone's going to get up and go crazy for La Bamba. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
well, I know that you got your education before you actually pursued your music career full time. You studied education technology, mathematics, and kinesiology. But a lot of musicians would have just skipped college altogether and just started with their career. But do you feel like that's been an asset to you to
Absolutely,
have gotten your
absolutely,
degrees?
absolutely, 100%. Because, you know, one of the things is my dad wanted me to go right into it. My mom says, no, you're going to go to college. And I was like, so, you know, when I got my bachelor's, I got it, but I mainly got it as a tribute to my mother for raising four of us, you know.
Right.
And then when I got my master's degree, she was just like, I said, I'm not going to walk the stage this time. She goes, oh, BS, you're going up there. We're going to have a party. And I'm like, All right. You know, mom knows best. So it was like, yeah, I mean, it's helped me. It's helped me understand the business a lot better because, you know, before college, I wasn't able to think with any rationale. And
Mhm.
now, you know, everything we do, we're strategic about what we do, but we also, you know, we take opportunity. We understand the difference between a paying gig and an opportunity. You know, some people say no, no, you know, and it's like, you know, we do working with Cindy these last, I think, 4 or 5 years. It's been phenomenal because she's also a go-getter and she keeps me on track, you know, and
Yeah.
you know, we're not going to get into it, but we've had a rough time the last year, but I'm back. I'm back from the dead, and we'll talk about that later. But I'm back
That's
doing,
for another show.
yeah, I'm back doing what my focus is back on, and that's one
Yeah.
thing, you know, and that's one thing, you know, that I always look at, you know, and I try to I'm like being a teacher, I model a lot of the things that, you know, I always talked. You know, one of the reasons I went ahead and I wasn't going to get a master's degree, but one of the reasons I did it was because I wanted to be like a role model for my students to strive for something, and you know, and
Right.
I always push education, but I also saw how the music business was going. Remember when Napster was out around that time?
Yeah.
And that's where I don't think the industry has really truly recovered since then.
Yeah,
Because
it sort of changed everything.
yeah, because it, people were just, you know, I understand how Napster felt, but I also understand how Metallica felt when that bitter rivalry was happening.
Right.
And you know, as artists, we make our art and we try to sell it to keep, you know, making records. It adds to everything that we do. So you know, there's a lot of avenues opening up to like licensing, and BMI Live actually pays artists for performing now.
Hmm.
So if they have they're published through their through BMI.com, and
Hmm.
that's what I use. I mean, so it's so, and plus, you know, of course, I kind of like the way I've done it. You know, it's like I'm not famous or anything, but I've really been able to develop going out and putting myself in situations like playing in New York City or Seattle or especially South by Southwest. And you know, we mentioned Keaton Simons. When I first played with Keaton, I was pretty nervous because he's good,
Yeah.
and I don't really get nervous when I play, but he was just like, he goes, you had some good songs, and it was like, and that gave me the confidence to keep going, you know, and
Right.
stuff. But I've
Yeah, I would
gotten
love to hear the two of you play together. That would be amazing.
it'd be fun. That it's just like, you know, like you take some of the Austin artists like Bob Schneider and Vallejo, and they I've done shows with them, but we've all been friends for a long time. So it's kind of, I mean, the first show I was opening for Bob Schneider, and I was like, he said, "You want to gig with Bob Schneider?" I'm like, yeah, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I'm bringing a new band in, but we had a good time and we did well.
Well, you brought up the teaching thing. So how long have you been teaching?
15 years,
15 years.
but,
Wow. So
but
what do you teach?
math,
Math. Yeah.
and one tech class.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been doing that, and the cool thing about teaching, it allows me to like do stuff in the summer. It allows me to go play shows, you know, when I need to, and
Right.
travel if I need to. And one of the things I read was for a lot of independent artists, their biggest asset is their day job. You know, and
Yeah.
I got a lot of friends. They're artists, but they work for like the guitar stores and all that. And
Right.
their times vary when they can get off. You know, but for me, it's a lot easier for me because I already got
Yeah,
that
you do
time
have
there.
those. You have those holiday breaks
Mhm.
and summer break and that sort of thing, so that you can take time to work on your music and do that. So
Absolutely.
that's yeah. Well, I know that one of your students. I saw a picture on your Facebook page. One of your students had drawn you a picture,
Yeah.
asking you to choose between teaching
Yeah.
and music.
She's still around. She said choose one. I was like, I think it was around. I always play for the veterans, but she was just being silly, you know.
Yeah.
She was.
Yeah.
I,
Well, I
I
won't put
said,
you on the spot by asking
yeah,
you to choose one right now.
yeah, yeah. Well,
So,
if it was economically feasible, and you know, music would be my thing. So it's just,
right.
but
Yeah.
I do love teaching. I mean, and that's. I mean, I always wanted to be. I kind of wanted to be a doctor, but then I just changed my mind as I got older.
Yeah.
Because I have friends who are in the medical field, and they're like, these doctors barely have a life because they're so busy.
That would be all you did as a doctor. Yeah. So what is Corpus Christi Songwriters?
Corpus Christi Songwriters is an organization that fosters original songwriting. And we have some veterans on the board that, like me and a few of my other friends, and we work together with people who are like troubadours or young people coming up. We have a showcase every month, and it's modeled after this. There was a guy named Kent Finley in San Marcos, Texas, and he always had a songwriting event, and people would come and sign up, and they do a couple of songs. You get a couple of songs, and if you play a cover, you get gonged. So we've only had one person play a cover, and he played the gong while he was playing it. But that was it. We're gonna write that in the bylaws. But that's what we do. And I've been working a lot with a few of the youngsters that have gone to this CC Songwriters, and introducing them to people, getting them shows and things like that. So, because you never know, people can pay it forward somewhere down the line.
Right. Well, and there was a tour this year too, right, for the songwriters?
Yeah. Oh, there was a lot of shows being done. So, So there's some future stuff coming up too. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. Very cool. So I read a quote that is supposed to be something that you said, so correct me if it's not. It says, "I was always afraid to see what I could accomplish because I was scared of failing, but triumph can't occur unless you learn from your mistakes." So is that true?
That was true. Yeah, so I said that one time because I think what a lot of us have in us is just that fear. Oh, I'm never gonna make it. I'm never gonna. And it's kind of funny because people, I mean, locally, it's even parts of Texas, some parts of the country, people know who I am. And, I was hanging out with one musician a couple of years ago, and he was from Lubbock, Texas, and he goes, "I know exactly who you are, blah, blah, blah." And that was cool. And then, but for me, it's not, a lot of people think, oh, they still follow the old model, think, oh, it's all about getting famous, and if you don't make it, your life sucks, and
right.
I was just like, well, why can't you just go play music and do it? And I go, you are going to fail. So you will fail, but you will succeed. So if things don't go right, just go on to the next one.
Yeah.
If two people show up one night, it's like, but though just not too long ago, about maybe 3 months ago, I had one show where there was like 2 people in the crowd, and then people started walking into the venue, and the next thing I know, I had about 15 people in there. And I actually went over my time, but but I mean, it was my show too. But it was like, but if you just keep working and if you give people something good, then they'll recognize it. So that's what I try. I try to work hard on that.
Right. So how did you ultimately overcome the fear of failing? Did you just decide to push through it?
I went to an open mic, and I was sitting there with my guitar. And I was like, I was really nervous because I just wanted to play guitar. I never really wanted to sing. And I was like, I was sitting there, and my good friend Ray Summy comes up to me. Now he's my good friend. He comes up to me and says, "Well, you're up." And I was like, "Okay." Well, he goes, "You got to make a decision here. You got to do one or two things. You want to watch, or do you want to play?"
Mm-hmm.
And I just grabbed my guitar and I said, "Well, I guess you just made my decision for me." And I went up on stage and worked on it ever since. And a lot of us down here in Corpus Christi, there's a place called the Executive Surf Club, and they have an open mic every Wednesday night. And a lot of us cut our teeth there from, since back in the day, when they've been doing it for over 20 years. So since their inception. So they brought out a lot of artists that have gone to do stuff.
Yeah. Well, my last question is like really serious. You were in New York a couple of years ago, and you actually met the Naked Cowboy.
Yeah. That was funny.
That had to be an odd experience.
He's always right there in Times Square, but you know
Right.
they also have the naked grandma and the naked cowgirls, and I think he has a whole.
Really?
Yeah, it's his area is right there in Times Square.
Yeah.
And when he's not there, somebody else there is doing it. But he happened to be there, you know. So he was very funny, and you know, he's a hell of a singer too.
Yeah.
So,
well, I know that he asked you if you were a musician, so.
Yeah, that's. I generally get that. You know, it was kind of funny with Beyonce Knowles' dad at A&M Corpus, my alma mater. They had a showcase there. I walk in and he just goes like this to me, and he goes, "Come over here." He goes, "What band are you playing?" And I was like, he goes, "Yeah." So I get that a lot. Like people ask me what band I play in.
Yeah.
Luckily, I can back it up a little bit. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Well, speaking of backing it up, I know that you're going to sing something for us before we go.
You said "Hey Mary," and I recorded.
Hey Mary, yes, I love Hey Mary. So
I recorded it in Nashville.
Yeah, very close to where I live. So talking like an hour away or so, hour and a half away.
Yeah, it's a song about LA. And is that too loud? Can you hear me?
No, it sounds good.
All right. Yeah, this is I'll give you a little. I was recording my first record out in Hollywood, and it kind of, you know, you watch TV and you see all these things about Hollywood, and you know, and you see the true Hollywood stories and all that, and the documentaries on like Marilyn Monroe and things like that, and it just kind of like I just kind of went like. I said, "Hey Mary, gonna be okay. You took a bus from Alabama all the way to LA." And I wrote that line down, and I never looked at it again for about a year.
Oh wow.
And then I wrote the skeleton of the song, and then finished writing it out all in Nashville, and we put it together, and it came out the week of Thanksgiving. So it's been 6 years since I released it. So anyway,
wow.
so I'm gonna do this one for you right here.
Yeah. Oh, awesome. Thank you.
Hey Mary ran away today, took a bus from Alabama all the way to LA. Small town girl with a big city dream, nothing else mattered, so it seemed. Hey Mary, that's the price you pay. What you gonna owe on Judgment Day? It's hard to get it back once you've thrown it all away. She grew up fast and had to be tough, for the love she got was never enough. Living at home, she always felt out of place, so she packed her dreams in her old suitcase. As she walked out the front door, the life she knew would be no more. Like a cyclone out of control, she took a step into the unknown. Hey Mary ran away today, took a bus from Alabama all the way to LA. Small town girl with a big city dream, nothing else mattered, so it seemed. Hey Mary, that's the price you pay. What you gonna owe on Judgment Day? It's hard to get it back once you've thrown it all away. The magic's trick was selling flesh what Mary had. It was something fresh, until he turned her out to this John named Phil. He locked her up in his house on the hill. This fairy tale had yet to discover. You can't always judge a book by its cover. The final chapter in this tragic story. Hey Mary ran away today, took a bus from Alabama all the way to LA. Small town girl with a big city dream, nothing else mattered, so it seemed. Hey Mary, that's the price you pay. What you gonna owe on Judgment Day? It's hard to get it back once you've thrown it all away. She Tried to make it legit, but could never follow through. Now she's back on the streets, cause it's all she ever knew. When she looks in the mirror, she feels so ashamed, but there's only really one person to blame. All she ever wanted was to be loved. Marry a tragedy, hit like a glove, like Peggy getting twistled back in 32. She spread her wings and like a bird she flew. Hey, Mary ran away today. Took a bus from Alabama all the way to LA. Small town girl with a big city dream. Nothing else mattered, so it seems. Hey, Mary, that's the price you pay. What's she gonna owe on Judgment Day? It's hard to get it back once you throw it all away. Hey, Mary ran away today. Took a bus from Alabama all the way to LA. Small town girl with a big city dream. Nothing else matters, so it seems. Hey, Mary, that's the price you pay. What's she gonna owe on Judgment Day? It's hard to get it back once you've thrown it all away. Thrown it all away. Hey, Mary ran away today. She took a bus from Alabama all the way to LA.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay, so I have a few dates here. You will be at Mesquite Street Pizza in Corpus Christi tomorrow night at 6:30, right?
Actually, I'm not.
You're not. Okay, never mind.
After this month, but I do have the residency on Wednesday nights, every Wednesday night in January. So I'll be back. They're building a new stage.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, and then you'll be at the American Bank Center in Corpus Christi on New Year's Eve.
It's the American Bank Center half marathon relay. So
okay, and what time is that?
That's at 7 in the morning.
Yeah, I was gonna make sure because when I read that, I was like 7 in the morning. That sounds very weird.
Yeah, it's for the runners. Yeah, I'm actually doing a private party for them tonight too. So yeah, I got that date, and I got another date that I just added. It's the 24th at Gators in Corpus Christi. So
okay,
I'll be doing a little 3-piece. I'll have my band with me, but we're gonna be doing like acoustic style. So
yeah, well that'll be cool.
My drummer will be on his little cajon, and we'll be having a good time.
Yeah, and we want to make sure that we tell people that Hey Mary is available on your album One More Time.
One More Time, which is on iTunes, Spotify, all those.
Right, CD Baby, your music's available there too.
Physical copies on CD Baby.
Yeah. So, and people can also check you out on ReverbNation.com/David Martinez Music.
Yes.
You're on Facebook as David Martinez Band.
Yes.
Twitter, David Martinez MU.
Yes.
And the same for Instagram.
Yes.
Okay. Anything that I might have forgotten? Any other links I may have forgotten?
Well, the new David Martinez website is going to be launched next month, so I'm working on that right now. So
okay.
So hopefully we'll get that taken care of.
Yeah. Well, let me know, and I'll put up a link so
I appreciate
people
that.
can find you there too. So, David, thank you so much for coming by. Again, I apologize for all the technical difficulties. Okay. So I appreciate you hanging in there.
We're good. We're good.
Yeah.
Trust me, we're good.
Yeah. Well, and I hope you come back again next time you have something you want to promote or, whatever.
Well, I love it. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, you have a Merry Christmas. So.
Yes. I also got to thank Cindy and Jen for putting up with me. So.
Yes. Lady music. So.
You have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Yeah, you too. Definitely. Okay, well, we'll see you later.
Yeah, thank you.